Don't worry. And then the blast wave hits them. And they fly apart like leaves.
Dreams. The end of the world are very common.
It's not a dream anymore, it's real. I know the date it happens.
I'm sure it feels very real to you.
On August 29th, 1997, it's gonna feel pretty fucking real to you, too. Anybody not wearing 2 million sunblock is gonna have a real bad day. Get it? God, you think you're safe and alive? You're already dead.
He said no. No, that's not true. Because y'all ain't the real ones. We are. But then doesn't want to back it up when people are challenging him on it. Why? Because he knows what we don't.
1 Corinthians 14, verse 33, for the Most High is not the author of confusion, but of peace. The truth will prevail, right? So you can say that we were wrong, and you were wrong. Guess what? You're going to be wrong. You're going to be wrong. You'll have a lot of individuals out there with no oil in their lamps. And they're going to be scurrying to get this information from us. But the Most High going to close that proverbial door on your black asses. For where envy and strife is, there is confusion, and every evil work. Self-explanatory. 1 Maccabees 1 verse 28. Let's see what that says. I'm sorry. The land also was moved for the inhabitants thereof, and all the houses of Jacob was covered with confusion. When we were, brought over here to be sold into slavery in America, part of this man's job was to confuse our faces, right? Confuse us. That's not your name. We're going to give you a name. That's not your language. You got to speak English. You got to eat pork. You got to eat whatever the hell we tell you to eat. You got to do what we say do. And we're going to separate you from your family. Your wife's going to go into one plantation. And that's what the slave master did. If you had a beautiful wife, he popped the wife knowing that he committed adultery. That's in Deuteronomy chapter 28. Matter of fact, let me go to that right quick. If Deuteronomy chapter 28 doesn't fit us, I don't know what fits us. Don't fit these small hats. Here it is. Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. Esau didn't give a shit. If he like your wife, he'll pop your wife. And there was nothing you could do about it. Thou shalt build a house, and thou shalt not dwell therein. Thou shalt plant a vineyard, which the word plantation comes from the word, the place where you plant things, farms. And shall not gather the grapes thereof. You're not going to benefit from what's, sown and gathered or reaped. And Amos has said, the plowman shall overtake the reaper, meaning the slave man shall overtake the slave master. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thine hand.
That language, well, it's the Assyrian script, because when you actually look at ancient Hebrew, at the time when Jerusalem fell, I just find it strange that the Jewish people today, and Jew and Jewish is a very blanket statement. And the reason I tell you that is because, I call it a blanket statement because at the time of John Hyrcanus, when they forced the nation, well, not all of the nation, but when they forced a portion of the nation of Edom to convert to follow the ways of the Bible, they were the ones who were Jewish because they were Edomites who were following the law, statutes, and commandments. They were following the customs of the Israelites. Okay, so they're the ones, that's where this whole Jewish thing and Jew come from. And so it becomes a blanket statement because they don't differentiate between the actual Hebrews, the Judeans, and the convert Jewish. And they just blanket them all together modern day. So people just, because you don't refer to the 12 tribes of Israel as the 12 tribes. They're not Jewish. All right? Only Abraham wasn't a Jew. Isaac wasn't a Jew. Jacob wasn't a Jew. Only Judah, the one tribe, can be referred to as Judeans. All right? You didn't call the other 11 tribes Jewish or Jews. Each tribe, has its own individual ways and mannerisms. All right? You can't call Naphtali, you can't call Issachar, you can't call Ephraim, you can't call Manasseh, you cannot call Simeon, you can't call them Jewish. There were Simeonites, there were Issacharites, there were Ephraimites. And so there's no differentiation, and it creates confusion. And I'm looking at, and so at the bottom here, it says DNA illegal. Jewish geneticists explain why DNA testing is illegal in Israel. So you got it's illegal to test their DNA, and then they're writing in a language that the Jews didn't write in. Here's the evidence. Because at the time of the fall of Rome, here's the book, The Mannerisms, the customs, the manners and customs of the Jews and other nations mentioned in the Bible.
He said, no, that's not true. Because y'all ain't the real ones, we are. But then doesn't want to back it up when people are challenging him on it. Why? Because he knows what we don't.
I don't know if I ever told a story about the churches.
I don't think so.
Here in Atlanta, we wanted to buy a church out here, a building.
Oh, wow.
It cost $1 million. We said, we can't afford that because we grassroots. So the minister said, hey, no. We said, minister, how are you able to afford this $1 million building? He said, you go to the bank. I said, no. We went to the bank. All these banks, they say the churches have unreliable income because 1 week it may be good, and next week it might be bad because it's based on donations.
Right.
He said, no. He said, Christians have a bank strictly for Christians.
Oh, wow.
So he gave us the address. Brothers go down there, and the clause is, in order to get the money funded for a church, millions of dollars, you have to teach what they want you to teach. They said to us, our church, our teachings must align with theirs.
His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire, and his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace, and his voice as the sound of many waters.